And now, it's that time of the week once again. Welcome to the Departure Lounge podcast with your hosts, Tom Whittle and Steve Wooldridge. Your ticket to the home of aviation podcasts. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 29 of the Departure Lounge podcast here on the Departure Lounge YouTube channel, and of course on Spotify if you are listening on there. My name is Tom Whittle, and thank you, for starters, thank you for joining us on this sort of rescheduled show this evening. Hopefully it'll be a lot of fun for you. Joining me this evening, as ever, is my wonderful co-host, Steve Wooldridge. I nearly said Woodbridge.
I would have hung
really
up on
think
you.
about that then, and very nearly said Woodbridge. But Steve Wooldridge is here. So good evening to you. How are you on this Tuesday evening?
Yeah, no, that was exciting to have a midweek show. Good evening to yourself, and I'll get a very early shout out in because I think my brother's joining us early doors, but he'll have to go before the end of it. So I'll say hello to him quickly now before we get going as well.
Big hello. Wonderful. Also joining us this evening, he'll be in the background, but he's here to read out your comments this evening. It is Ian Hartley. Ian, a very good evening to you. How are you on this Tuesday evening?
I'm very well, thank you, Tom. Good evening to you and to you as well, Steve. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Makes a change Tuesday night.
It certainly does. Sort of not planned, but it's here, and this is what we're doing. So,
Have to record Bake Off.
Yeah,
Baker. Yeah, we'll try and get done by 9 o'clock.
a really boring little fact on Bake Off. One of the women on there is good mates of my boss, but he didn't speak. Well, actually, I'm not going to say that. Yeah, he likes her a lot.
Yeah. Well, way to out somebody, honestly.
Yeah, but, big fan of hers.
Yeah. So big welcome to you, and a big welcome to everybody watching on this evening's show. Ian, we're going to get rid of you for the time being. I know you're bored.
Yeah,
but we'll see you shortly for some comments. Get your comments in throughout the evening. If you've got any questions for our guests this evening, do bring your comments into the chat, and we will get them read out and asked, etc., etc. We've got a poll up at the moment in the live chat to sort of ask if you. I mean, we've teased it this evening, but we're sort of going to ask you. We've got a t-shirt design waiting to sort of make its debut to you. Do you want to see it this evening? If you do, press yes. If you don't, say no. But then we'll wait and see what happens. Hopefully by the end of the evening, if everyone wants to see it, we will show you the new design, which we're very, very sort of proud of here. So it's going to be pretty good, providing you want to see it. But yes, other than that, we'll get into some housekeeping. So first of all, throughout the evening, we're going to be showing off our social medias. If you wish to follow us on there to keep up to date with anything that is going on in terms of t-shirt design, streams, anything in terms of flight sim, etc., etc. Like I say, we've got loads of new projects, I should say, coming. So the only way you can find out about those is on our social medias, which we'll, like I say, bring up throughout the evening. Secondly, as I mentioned, I didn't mention it, but I'm going to mention it now. We're on Spotify. So if you want to listen to this show back tomorrow, I believe, this one will go up because it's always 24 hours after an episode is up. You can catch it tomorrow evening from about 7 o'clock. And of course, you can take us anywhere with you with every other episode that we have done, from episode 1 to this episode number 29. And lastly, if you wish to be a guest on this podcast, drop us a message on any of our social medias, and we will put you onto our schedule. It's filling up nicely. We've got lots of great guests and great topics to discuss. So, get your sort of requests into us, and we'll get you on. So immediately we're going to bring back Ian Hartley. Ian is back here with just a couple of hellos.
One from Michael Barrett there. Good evening, gents. I think you was at Manchester today, Mark. How did you get on? I went for the departure, and it was rough. It was wet, it was windy, and it was cold, but it was worth it. And Ricky Grimshaw's joined us. Another great show, as always.
We've only just started, but thank you
That's
anyway.
I know, very presumptuous, that Ricky, but we'll take it.
Yeah, I say we've only just started, but thank you very much. Ian, we're going to keep you here.
Okay.
Just for the time being, because we've got one bit of news that's come out today, which I saw this morning and thought we'd better talk about it. So, the bit of news that came today, as we know, Jet2 have ordered the Airbus A321neos, which will probably signal the end of the 757 over the next coming sort of years. However, the news today is that they've ordered even more in terms of, let me just edit, hold on, I've just spotted a error. This is professional. This is what happens when it's live. There we go. So Jet2 have ordered more A321neos. They've ordered 15 more, which now makes their order of 54 with an additional, I think it's 21 for an option, which will start sort of delivery from about 2026, I believe. I will just confirm with my notes that I have written down. It is. So between 2026 and 2029 is when they'll start getting delivered. So does this signal Jet2's intention to retire the 757 sooner than expected? Any one of you?
Well, yeah.
I
think it certainly does suggest that. I sort of alluded to it on Sunday that the Airbus 321s are going to overtake the 757s just for how much more fuel efficient, economic they are to the airlines to run. So I think sadly fans of the 757 are going to be quite disappointed fairly rapidly, I'm afraid.
Ian, what do you think?
I mean, I don't know whether you've got it in your notes or anything, but how many 757s, or what is the size of the fleet anyway?
I've read somewhere there's about 7 left, I think.
7, right? Okay. And what about the 737s and what have you? No, I'm just looking at the numbers. I mean,
somebody will put it in. Someone will put it in there. I think someone will.
Sure. I mean, the size of. I can have a quick Google. I mean, looking at the size of that order for the 321s, they've either got something up the sleeve about starting new destinations, and maybe they're just going to start again with the entire fleet. Maybe even do away with the 737s and move into a bigger plane.
Well, I say don't forget as well. They've also got the lone A321 at the moment, which is in there, which they acquired from Thomas Cook, I think.
Aviation 19 says they've got 83 737s. I would imagine they're going to get rid of the 737. I would imagine that they're going to get rid of a handful of the 737s, probably the older ones, and replace them with the 321s, and just hope that they can get the bums on seats to fill them, for these shorter hauls. Maybe it's just bigger planes, more people wanting to go on holiday, and less flights, I suppose.
Well, that's it.
And obviously the range is a lot better on them if they want to branch out further than what they are at the moment.
Yeah.
It's the age-old story of when we spoke to Johnny, the A340 pilot. He said that it's too much plane for what it is, sort of thing. So the likes of the A321neo will be able to cut down a lot in terms of space airports. It'll add a bit more range to them, and it will be obviously more efficient because obviously it's a brand new aircraft.
Absolutely. And what do you think about livery wise? I mean, going off deliveries, what they've got now, Do you think they might just opt for a Euro white livery with just Jet2 holidays painted downside? You know, like the 330, what they used to have, the tankers one.
For which one? The Neos?
Yeah.
I think they'll go full livery. I
Do you
think they'll
think
go
so?
holiday livery. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they
bring
don't
out
on their
brand new
Jet2
ones.
holiday ones.
Steve loves a good holiday livery. You can check out the podcast on our worst liveries ever for Steve's opinion on that one. But no. So yeah, Aviation 19. They're saying that the one that they got was from Condor, not Thomas Cook, but part of the group. So
Yeah.
good enough. But yeah, just that one bit of news that sort of we saw this morning, and that we have decided to share with you. So like I said, keep getting your comments in. Ian, we will see you a little bit later. And it's just us.
Right.
So tonight, basically, we are here to have our rescheduled show for a guy who actually joined us late on Sunday. And he has been looking forward to this. And it was a bit of a shame that it didn't happen on Sunday, but it's going to happen now. So let me just do the appropriates that are needed. And right, okay, so we're good to go. So if you've got any questions for our guest tonight, put them into the chat. We'll ask him throughout the evening. But we will say a very good evening to our guest for this evening, and it is Isaac Cowley. Isaac, welcome back to start. And how are you?
Yeah, I'm good today. Bit of a shame that it had to be rescheduled, but glad it's happening now.
Yes, absolutely. It's these things happen. These things happen 100%. But it'll be fine. It'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, like I said, if you've got any questions, do feel free to ask them. And we'll start off with Steve, if you want to kick things off.
Yeah, well, for those who don't know, Isaac's primarily a Bournemouth spotter there. So, if you could sort of give us a rundown of what's gone on in the airport, sort of since pre-lockdown and that, because it's been quite exciting times down there.
Yeah, the A340s are really cool. It's nice how we have 7. Not all of them are operating at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. But they have plans to operate. And then we had our first 737 MAX buzz the other day, which was really nice to have at the airport. And
yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah, and I can see the further plans for this airport's development because we have new routes starting from Ryanair and Buzz, and then we have the A340s as well developing their routes to the USA. So yeah, that's basically the rundown at the moment. So
Yeah, no, that's good. Obviously, we got EasyJet in as well. I don't know about you. It's just my opinion. I think EasyJet are using Bournemouth as a southern testing ground for when Southampton gets their expansion on the runway, and they're just sort of using us to see if it's worth them using Southampton as a hub. I don't know if you've got the same opinion on that or not.
yeah, I mean, in a way, I think they are testing us as well. But then again, we also have a permanent Geneva route, even before, because Southampton also had that route. So it could go two ways. They could leave us when Southampton has their runway, but additionally, they could just develop their routes at Bournemouth.
Yeah, no, I hope EasyJet do stick around because they're good for the airport and for the sort of growth of Bournemouth Airport and what have you. But like I say, I've just got that worry that Southampton might come in and sort of nab those when they're able to do it with the cruise liners and what have you. It might be a more attractive prospect. Unfortunately, the infrastructure at Bournemouth for getting there isn't isn't overly good, is it, compared to Southampton?
No, not at all.
But yeah, the 340s that you mentioned there, we've obviously got a few ex-Virgin ones. Is there any other sort of aircraft there from other companies, or is it just all ex-Virgin?
We have a few. We have a few Plus Ultra. One of ours is Plus Ultra. And then we have, I think it's ex Etihad as well. And then one ex Asman Air. I think that's all we have. We have a few 737s on ground for ex Flybe and EasyJet, which is quite cool.
Yeah, and am I right in thinking that a company, is it Flight Services, have been bringing aircraft in as well recently?
Yeah, so Flight Service has sprung their A330 quite a lot of times now, and luckily it's a different A330 reg every time. I think it's just for storage initially, and then for testing. But it'll be cool if they did develop their flights, but I think it's quite unlikely at the moment.
Yeah, no, they do seem to go off to China or Korea and then end up going back either to Stansted or just not coming back to the UK at all from sort of what I've seen of them. So it'd be interesting to see if the 330s are there to stay.
Yeah, that would be quite cool.
So, but yeah, no, that's all good. Yeah.
Say, so have you got any? I mean, would you have any sort of special? I mean, if we're talking about sort of plane spotting wise, have you got any sort of special memories or any sort of special sort of times that you've been and sort of you've caught a rare aircraft, for example?
Well, the 727 that likes to come to Bournemouth, M-STAR, so M-Star. That's come quite a lot of times now, so that's quite cool. But one of my favourite memories of Bournemouth is I saw probably my first ever aircraft was a Palm Air, and that is now in the museum.
Oh yeah, it's a 737-200, isn't it? If I'm right.
Yeah, I think so.
So is that the aircraft where you actually get the 3.5s at the end of your name from? You were telling us the other day.
No, that's not the exact aircraft. But there is an aircraft in a different country. Might be scrapped now, but the registration is SE555. And that was the first aircraft, I believe, that my dad spotted.
Oh, nice. So it's obviously got a nice sort of place in your heart.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why
sort of
my Instagram is Plane Spotter 555.
Oh yeah, sort of paid homage to the first aircraft your dad saw. That's a nice story rather than just some random numbers at the end of your name there.
Yeah, which a lot of people seem to do, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful. I'll let you carry on, Steve, if you like.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, Bournemouth as well. It's not just a civil base. You get a lot of aviation. If you could just sort of say what kind of stuff you've seen down there and any particular favourites and what have you.
Yeah, so Bournemouth isn't just civil or cargo. We have some military as well, but Bournemouth dominates in like general aviation. So we have quite a lot of like areas around the airport where you can learn to fly, where you can hire planes. One of this is Bliss Aviation, and they have a lot of aircraft and they fly around quite a lot. We have L3 Learning School with their DA40s and DA42s. We also have, I think it's Bournemouth Flight School. So we just have a bunch of general aviation aircraft, which is quite cool, which we see quite a lot at the airport. We also have a lot of jets at Technicair. We have quite a lot of Cessnas, and private jet. So it's quite nice to see their liveries on.
Yeah, I suppose as well, you've got all the, I know they've changed their name now, but for old time's sake, all the old Cobham Falcons as well down there, of course.
Yeah, they did change their name, you're right, to Draken. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really change anything.
Well, no, they're
They're
still
the same.
50-year-old aircraft, aren't they? They're not young aircraft by any means. And there was a little spell where they were squawking every other week, weren't they? At one point.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and obviously when you two, you two go spotting at Bournemouth a lot with each other. Sort of, how long have you? I mean, both you and you and Isaac, Steve. How long have you two sort of known each other in terms of sort of plane spotting together?
I'll let you answer this if you want, Isaac.
I didn't actually. Oh yeah, right. I saw Steve's Instagram live video once, and I was at the airport, and I just went over to say hi, and we just got in contact with Instagram. We kept on messaging. We kept on going down to the airport together, and it's just like built and built.
Yeah, no. What I would say for Isaac, when it comes to aviation, I just point my camera at an aircraft and take a photo, and Isaac will sit there and he'll tell me all the specifications and all the intricacies of it. And even when we went to the aviation museum the other week, and Isaac's sitting in the plane saying, "Oh, let's land it," touching all the right switches, and all I've done is got hold of the yoke and just pushed it forward for my attempt at landing. So your knowledge of the aviation is amazing. Like what I've learnt off you, sort of the more kind of technical stuff's unbelievable, to be quite honest.
New generation teaching the old generation.
Yeah, well, absolutely. You can never be too proud to learn off youngsters.
Brilliant. I'm just going to bring Ian back into this. There is a couple of comments which I'll get them read out. Here we go, Ian.
Oh, hang on. I've disappeared. Hang on a sec. That's better. Yeah, we've got Aviation 19. I think the A321, the A321 Neos will be in the package holiday livery. One for you, that's Steve.
Oh yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Love
with
a package holiday livery.
Over hot curry APU.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what I said to you earlier on about it.
No, you better not. No, you better not. And European Aviation have the A340s, ex-Virgin ones there. I'm presuming that's down at Bournemouth. I know you're both quite fond of the European Aviation A340 down there, aren't you?
Yeah, my favourite one's the 9 HNHS, because it's got the old blue tail and the Union Jacks on the wingtips there. What would your favourite be, Isaac?
Mine's probably 9HEAL. It's not here at the moment at the airport, but they repainted that properly. It's still in the Virgin colours, but it said originally, "Thank you, NHS." And that was the first COVID livery we had, so that will always be special.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Plane Spotting Ringway saying hi everyone. So hi to you, Plane Spotting Ringway. And Martin Woolridge has popped his head in and said, "Old foggy Steve."
Yeah, he's not far wrong. Look at the state of the. Oh, I can't even work it out. That's youth. Look at the state of the greys wherever my head is. There we go. That's the stress of an older brother when I was younger that's done that.
I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Yeah.
Jenny French is she's popped in as well. Hi everyone. Another great podcast, guys.
Yes, thank you very much. It's about time you commented.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Ian. We'll see you again in a bit. So wonderful. So Steve, great to see that your brothers sort of
come on here to call me old.
Yes. come on to abuse you. No, that's fine. So once again, we've got eight people watching at the moment. It is what it is. So hello to everybody that is watching. Isaac, can you remember sort of the first sort of time that you sort of got into aviation at all?
It was probably me and my dad in the car at the end of runway 26 at Bournemouth. We were just sat in the car, and a Ryanair flew over, and then it was a Palm Air after that, and then an EasyJet, and I just fell in love with everything. Obviously, Steve knows at 26 they're quite low anyway. So that was just really nice to see. Like at that time, that huge thing flying over my head, and knowing that that's just come from another country was just incredible.
That's absolutely right. Yeah. I was gonna ask you about the ultimate disappointment that day with the 737. Do you remember it?
Yeah, I do. Pouring with rain. We were
Go on, tell us about it.
Well, we were expecting a lovely black and red livery, 737-500, I believe, from Reykjavik, and it was pouring with rain. We were all getting drenched. It arrived, and it was plain white.
It was complete. It was naked as the day it was born, absolutely soaked through, and it originally come from Peru or something like that.
Yeah.
And the landing lights appeared on the horizon, and you were getting more and more excited, and it was sort of vapor trailing, and that it was like, oh yeah, it's going to be the greatest photo ever. And then it showed up like a virgin bride. It was just the most disappointing moment in my spotting history. Absolutely shocking.
Yeah. Steve, have you got a disappointment at Bournemouth Airport?
What, the most disappointing thing at Bournemouth Airport?
The most disappointing thing that's happened to you at Bournemouth?
Well, that 737's definitely well up there. And probably the cargo jet, the 767, when it was toweling it down, and I thought it's not going. So I drove off, and I just heard the roar of it as it overtook my car at about 1,000 feet because I had nothing that had gone on. So yeah, that was up there.
I've got a similar sort of thing, not at Bournemouth, but at Heathrow, where I think it was the last time I went, which was January 2019, and I got there the day before, and the next day I was like, right, I'm going to go down early. It was like bitterly cold, but we'll go down there early because the Brussels A320 of the Smurfs livery was coming in, and I hadn't seen it before, and I was like, oh, I really want to get this because this is like my must get sort of thing. And I was sort of walking along the road after I got off the bus, and all I could see was it coming in the back, and I was like, oh, that better not be it, because I haven't got my camera like ready or anything. So I looked at flight radar, and it was only the Smurfs livery. And I watched it go by, and whilst you could hear it going by, you could also hear the sound of my heart breaking at the same time. I was like, no, because I managed to get like my phone out and film it, but it's so backlit you can't even see it. I'm just like, no.
Yeah, I think everyone's got probably that moment, haven't they, in their locker somewhere or other.
Proper disappointing. I was gutted. So I haven't seen it since. It is what it is, isn't it?
So I've got a good little alarm clock actually on a Saturday morning, where I've worked all week. I'm a bit tired of that, and Isaac rings me up at like 9 o'clock, and I'm half dead, going, something amazing showing up in half an hour. Yeah. Yeah. So he tips me off, and I'm sort of half dead to the world or whatever.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's a good little alarm clock.
I say, speaking of obviously Bournemouth Airport, Isaac, we've been speaking about a lot of off air. We've been speaking about sort of model aircraft and things like that. And you actually have a model version of Bournemouth, don't you?
I do indeed. It's right behind me there.
We won't make you get up and show it because all sorts of things could happen.
If I move, like you can see it there.
Oh yeah. You just about make it out, but we know you've got it, so that's the main thing. Yeah. So how long is it? I mean, is it complete? Is it finished, or is there sort of more to do for it?
Well, It was finished, but every single day I find something to change. Because I'm never happy with it. I want to extend it, and obviously, living in a parent's house, they won't let you extend it. So I end up changing everything. Um, but the right hand side of 08 is completely finished. It's exactly like BOH. I'm not touching any of it.
Fantastic. Have you got like photos at all, like on like Instagram or anything that people can check out?
Yeah, so I have my model account, Bournemouth Model Airport, and that's also linked in my Planespotter 5 account. All of those posts are just my model airport.
Wonderful. Steve, have you ever considered having a model airport?
Previously, no, but without getting the small violin
in the background.
Yeah, without getting the small violin out, circumstances have changed, so it's not impossible for me to be able to do it now. But
I'll bring Ian in on
yeah,
this
it's
one.
not something I've done just yet, to be honest.
Faces in the background. Look, here we go. Yeah, you didn't look that serious just now.
No.
What about you? Have you ever considered a model airport?
Never, no. I can tell you about a few weeks ago when you're talking about your near misses what you've had in your various airports, and I had that. Is it the C40, the United States 737, with the, I forget her name now. She was in Chorley anyway, weren't she? And it was flying into Wharton from Stansted, and I only live probably 7 mile away from Wharton down a dual carriageway. So I looked on flight radar and I could see it coming over Birmingham. And I thought, well, if I set off now, I'll easily catch it. I got stuck in traffic in Preston, and as I was bombing down the dual carriageway, it came right over the top of my head and skimmed me as it were going into Wharton. So I missed that, and I was wounded because I'm never going to see that again.
I hear the sound of heartbreak at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but regarding the airport thing, no, I am keen on building models. I have built quite a few over years. I'm looking at a few now. I've got a few in attic and I've got a few in my bedroom as well. So, yeah, but that's as far as it's gone. I haven't got room for an airport at all.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's the thing. I do have a bone to pick with Isaac because now and again he'll post on his Instagram, such and such a flight's leaving. So I'm like, oh crikey, there's a 747 leaving Bournemouth today. I didn't know about that. Like getting all excited, messaging, going, when's it happening? He's like, oh, it's my bedroom airport. Not.
So he tricked you.
Yeah. Well, it's easily done. I'm not the sharpest tool in the box, but still.
Rotten. Absolutely rotten. That's fine. Right, Ian, we're going to put you back in the box for now. Back in the corner you go.
Naughty corner.
Wonderful. Right, so in terms of, obviously, we've just been speaking about model airports and that. In terms of model aircraft, do you have many to go with it?
At the moment, 1 to 400 scale, which is my airport, I have 16 model planes. I have one here, which is my favorite.
Oh.
It's the Thank You NHS 9HEAL.
Oh, nice.
Obviously, being a Bournemouth model airport, I kind of had to buy it.
It'd be rude not to, I guess.
Exactly.
Steve, have you got any models that are near you that you're not sort of keeping in cupboards?
No, well, she's hiding around the corner at the moment. I don't suppose you want to see her.
You got what I meant then. Any models near you at all that you sort of want to show off while we're here?
The only thing I've got nearby is a scary Halloween mask, but I don't actually have any aircraft models. But my brother, he chirped in a minute ago, he's massive into airfix. Like, he's got so many in his house, his Vulcans, Lightnings. He's sort of into the military stuff, and he actually gave a lot away to his local museum a little while ago because he's got so many, and they gladly took him on, so they've not gone to waste when he sort of run out of space with them. But I've never got into it or really bought one myself. But like I say, now I can probably go out and buy a few. Yeah, it'd be decent.
Yeah, it's. I've got. Oh, if I just reach over. No, not you, Clarissa. You can stay in there. So I've got this one is currently nearby, which is a
Oh, nice. Yeah.
777-300 from Gemini Jets. It is wonderful. It's lovely. It is great. It's a nice little model. Can't remember how much it cost me because I bought it ages ago. Also, at the same time, while I'm here, I won't get it because it's 1/200, but I'll get the smaller version. Is this little beauty right here? I don't know if I'm just going to change the zoom. Hang on. So you'll be able to see it a bit better. There we go.
Oh,
Nice
yeah.
little British Airways BEA 146 with Ian's favourite tail, which is the USA one.
I don't know if you remember the show I was on, but I flew on something fairly similar out of London City to Milan, and it was beautiful plane. I really enjoyed that trip. Like the overwinged aircraft, I'd never been on it before, so it was quite a different experience looking out the window directly at an engine rather than across the wing of it.
It's definitely a lot different.
decent,
I mean, I've not been on like an over. No, I haven't. No, I've not been on an overwing aircraft, but I can imagine it is a lot different to. Excuse me. Sort of, just that different feeling of actually properly seeing the engines as opposed to sort of them in their usual position, sort of thing. So I imagine it was a bit of a different sight.
Yeah, it's a bit unnerving when you look out the window. There's no wing, but for views and that, it's loads better. Like obviously, there's nothing obstructing the view at all, and that.
No, not at all.
Well, sorry, Tom, go on.
No, I was just going to say a quick plug. I can't get used to it. I can't do it. It's there.
I know.
Quick plug down here for the merch, such as this. You can get T-shirts. Steve, if you want to. There you go. You can get T-shirts. You can get hoodies. You can get everything. You got till next Monday. So what are we on now? So about 6 days' time to get 15% off your first order. Links are in the description below. Check it out after the show. As you were, Steve.
Oh, you talk about aviation disappointment. I'm sure Isaac will come in on this one. When we went to the aviation museum the other day, and there was those Red Arrow canvases that are about 6 foot wide, and the bloke said, "Oh, you can have it for a tenner, but I'll just go and find out." And we're like, "Well, if it's 10 quid, we'll have 2 of those." And the bloke walked back out and went, "Yeah, lads, are 75 quid each." It was like, "Oh, okay, we'll stick with a tenner if you're offering it," but. Yeah, it did seem too good to be true, didn't it?
Yeah.
Is that like for pieces of them, or is it literally like a painting sort of thing?
No, it was just like, I had the photo the other day of the Reds. It was like that, but on a canvas. It looked amazing.
Oh,
and when he said a tenner, I was going to bite his hand off, but he obviously got it wrong by about 65 quid.
Quite a way to get it wrong as well.
Yeah.
We'll bring Ian in because Ian's quite a fond person of this kind of stuff. Ian, comment from Ricky Grimshaw.
He remembers doing Airfix models with his dad back in the day.
Who among us are Airfix extraordinaires?
I love doing them, mate. I can spend.
Yeah, my dad is very much into his Airfix and that.
I've seen some of your dads, Tom, and they're absolutely mustard. Now, I don't have the setup what your dad's got. I don't have the airbrush kits or anything like that. But I will quite happily sit there with a cockpit in front of me and dab away with a paintbrush for a couple of weeks until I get it looking somewhat like. And it just so happens that was my last one. I did an F-35B last time I did one. So that's my effort with the F-35B. It's not really seen that cockpit or anything like that, but it's all... It was as detailed as I could possibly get it without getting airbrush kits and things like that. But I really do enjoy them. I find them very therapeutic.
That was the most Blue Peter moment we've ever had then. And here's one I prepared earlier.
Yeah, just have it side of
very
me.
much like Blue Peter.
But my favourite, I've got a Tornado GR4, isn't it? The 2014 Tiger Meet German, which is that's sat in there, but I'll leave it there. It's quite a quite a big. I think it's a 175. Is it, Tom? Something like that. 174. I think they are, aren't they? The bigger ones. Yeah, that took me forever to make, but it's an absolutely fantastic. So it's all painted gloss black with all the Tiger Meat logos on it and stuff. That's
wonderful.
Yeah,
and
really,
then
really
from
like that one.
Marco Barrett there, who actually asked me this during the week, but I'll get everyone's opinion on this one.
Have you seen the new BA Concorde that Airfix are doing? I haven't.
It looks really good. There are a few molds out already, but it looks amazing. Like that's all I'll say.
What's different about
it's not.
it?
I think just the mold itself is a lot. With the other like Revell and things like that, I think Revell have been the ones that have released Concorde recently, or like have released Concorde altogether.
Yeah, I've had a Revell one. They're not brilliant, to be fair.
No. So the fact that Airfix are doing one, and hopefully in a bigger scale,
Yeah,
it should look pretty good.
yeah. I've never been a massive fan of Airfix models personally. I've always liked the Revell ones and things like Alitalia ones and Trumpeter and things like that. Tend to be a bit better quality. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for
it's not one I've seen.
Box you go.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm looking forward to the Concorde on Microsoft Sim when that comes out.
Yes, absolutely. We'll mention Flight Sim at the moment. Isaac, do you do Flight Sim, or do you do anything along the lines of Flight Sim?
I play Infinite Flight on my iPad.
And how do you find it?
I think for an iPad simulator, I think it's incredible. It for what it can be on like such a like small space of storage, it's incredible. I love it.
Steve, you're more of a you call it a real Flight Sim or something?
Oh, on my phone, yeah, real Flight Sim, but it has a really annoying habit of burying you as you go in, and you'll lose both engines, that kind of thing. So I'll only play it if I'm out and about and properly bored. Obviously, now I've got Microsoft Flight Sim, that wins the day. But I can just bin it without the engines catching fire on that.
Well, yes, we'll be doing a bit more sort of group flight as well, which will be up and coming, which we're looking forward to. Marco Barrett's a big fan of Infinite Flight. I know that much, and he agrees with you, Isaac. So that's a big thumbs up from him.
Don't you occasionally, like I know Isaac's occasionally done a flight where he's taken off before he's gone to school, left it on autopilot all day and timed it, and then pretty much when he walked through the door he has to pick it up and land it.
Yeah. I have indeed.
Wow. I know I do that sometimes if I'm doing like a long haul sort of thing. I won't literally sit there and just follow it. I'll go off and do other things, and then when I know it's time, I'll be like, I'll come back and just land the thing. But it is pretty cool to do that. Steve, I mean, I don't know how new are you to flight sims in general?
So I played that one on my phone, but I wouldn't class it as a proper flight sim. Like a trained monkey could play it near enough, but to actually play proper sims on the Xbox, I'm only sort of 2 months in, sort of still learning it and making mistakes and finding out what works and what doesn't work. But
yeah,
like you say, if we're going to do it at some point, everyone will get to see just how dodgy I am at it.
Absolutely. We do plan on actually streaming Flight Sim on the channel at some point. So keep an eye out for that, because that's going to be a lot of fun, and you'll get to see just how bad our landings are. Because none of us are good. None of us are any good at it. And we don't pride ourselves on bringing people in that are only good at it. So, that's from a former channel.
I think our landing motto is Ryanair without the care.
Ryanair without the care, and if that's not going to be a t-shirt, I don't know what. Fantastic. So let's move on from there. So any sort of future sort of spotting trips that you've got planned, Isaac, at all?
in October half term, I'm going to go to Heathrow with my mum, and if Steve's available, with Steve.
Oh yeah, you need to remind me of the date. It's been so busy at work, etc., etc. I've actually forgotten to ask him now. But it would be cool. Well, yeah, not to do our arrangements on TV, but if I can get it off, we'll just go up. Don't make your mum go up. She's not wanting to go.
Yeah,
but we'll talk about it off this.
Yeah.
Nothing like a little planning on air. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only the whole of YouTube and then the whole of Spotify that'll be listening, so they may just join you as well.
Yeah. We'll hire a bus.
And then eventually Dublin and Liverpool.
Interesting. Liverpool is an interesting airport. What sort of makes you want to go there?
My dad's side of the family live there.
Oh, fair enough.
It'll be quite nice. So if EasyJet aren't scamming us and actually keep the route, it's easy enough just to go from Bournemouth to Liverpool now.
Would that mean a trip to Chester as well to see the belugas?
Possibly, yeah.
That's definitely a yes.
Yeah.
Definitely on my bucket list to do as well, especially while the A300 variant is still around.
Yeah.
Definitely still on my list of things to do. But I mean, if you're going to go up that way, you may as well go to Chester as well, just to get them as well, because it's always a good time to sort of see them. Never seen them myself, so again, that's why it's on my bucket list.
Yeah, I've seen them once before from Chester Zoo.
It's close enough.
All these cool animals, and you completely ignore them in favour of the beluga. Oh look, it's
whale.
Yeah. Oh look, it's an endangered tiger. Oh well, not to worry.
Yeah, but have you seen that whale in the sky? Fantastic. I'll tell you what, we'll bring Ian back in because we'll just go jump onto the whole flight sim thing while he's done filling.
Sorry, I was doodling around.
No, that's all right. We were just talking about flight sim and stuff in terms of how sort of new or experienced you are with it.
Well, I fancy myself as a bit of a pilot, to be quite honest, Tom.
Right, back in the box you go.
No, seriously. I'm like Steve. I'm hopeless at it. But it's if we were Steve, you're hopeless at it. If we were that good at it, there would be no fun playing it, would there? Let's be honest. No, I'm not saying you're hopeless at it at all, Steve. We're just like beginners, aren't we?
We go our own way.
I'll dig myself out of this hole, don't worry. But you can go on about flight sims, can't you? I mean, I've got Infinite Flight on my iPad, and I've tried playing it, and it's funny because after we were talking at weekend, I actually give it a go, and I still can't do it. I don't like it at all. I just find all the little sliding across at the bottom with different buttons and having to adjust things, and I just find it's a bit of a pain when you've got to hold your iPad perfectly still. Otherwise, you start, going up and down and things like that. No, it's not for me. Microsoft 220 is an absolutely fantastic sim. For life of me, I can't land a plane on it. Now, on FSX, I got to learn how to use the autopilot properly. I used to use all the ILS frequencies and things like that, and they'd be able to do an ILS landing, and not a problem. With these 320 Neos in the new sim, I just can't get my head around it at all. It takes practice, doesn't it? But it's a lot of fun trying.
Practice makes perfect. Unless you can't reach that stage, then
I probably won't. Yeah, I don't mind. I'm not an aspiring pilot. I don't pretend to be one, but I enjoy playing the game.
You definitely ain't an aspiring pilot.
I'm not. No, you're right. I'm never going to be a pilot. Just like I said, I enjoy the game for what it is, and that's a really, really good flight sim, and it's a good laugh playing with you two when we do our flights. It's a good bit of a scream, isn't it?
I like showing you up, so it's fine.
I won't go that far, but
have you ever noticed that we always let Tom land first, so we don't have to witness it?
Yeah. In fact, somewhere on my computer, I could probably pop it up somewhere that I think I've got one of your landings, Tom.
Right, back in the box. Back in the box you go. Isaac has left us.
Oh, has he gone?
He's got connection issues, but he's gone.
Okie dokie.
But that's fine. We'll keep it going. We'll see if he comes back. If he doesn't come back, we'll end it. It'll be fine. The wonders of live podcasting, etc. It is a wonderful thing. In that case, we will bring Ian back.
Caught me again.
Isaac's left us.
Caught me fiddling again.
I'll send a question Ian's way quickly, but I think Isaac was going to mention the Manchester Aviation Museum. It's not one I've been to. Is it any good down there?
The Manchester Aviation Museum, the one in the city centre.
One with Concorde in.
Oh, that's just the Concorde hangar. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Right.
It's I'm not sure of the price of it. I know they do some special offers sometimes. It's either only a £5 or a £10 or something for a tour around it. And I believe I've never done it myself, but I believe it's absolutely fantastic. It really is. But if you're actually in Manchester as well, I think it's near Oxford Road, one of the main roads running through Manchester city centre. There's the Museum of Science and Industry, and they've got a small aviation museum there as well, which is fantastic. I've been there a couple of times, and that's a really, really good museum. That it's not massive, but
where have you seen Concorde at, Tom?
Well, considering I lived under the flight path,
well, yeah, you saw it properly.
Seen it live in colour, etc. In terms of like museum pieces, the obvious one is Yeovilton, where the second prototype sits. Fascinating learning about that. Been there since 1976. Hasn't flown a single passenger. Once they got their use out of it, boom, went straight into a museum, and that was it.
Yeah.
Where else? Manchester. When obviously went up to see Ian, and we spent a couple of days playing spotting up there as well. I'm just trying to think where else have I seen Concorde? Brooklands.
Yeah.
Although I think that's a mock-up. I'm not convinced that's a proper. Someone will. I'm sure because something about it just doesn't feel like it's right. But someone will tell me anyway. It's probably a right one, but it's not. But what I will say is, obviously, whilst we're waiting to see if Isaac rejoins us or not, we are 52 minutes in. We are planning on being here for 90 minutes. But if he doesn't come back, do throw questions at us because we will. We'll answer them. Why not? We'll have a little Q&A while we're here, and why not just ask us anything? And then whilst you're waiting, why don't you just follow us? Follow us on everything.
I was going to say I've seen the Concorde at East Fortune, which is just outside Edinburgh, and it's the British Aviation Museum or something along those lines now. But the whole museum's absolutely amazing. Like if you're ever up Edinburgh, like to go there is a proper day out. Like the Dan Air, Vulcans Air, the Concorde, Red Arrows, all the old military stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Such a good day out that place, and it was only like £8 or something. It was really cheap to go around it.
It's not bad then, really, is it?
Yeah, properly decent day out.
Cosford's a good one if you can get to that one. The Cold War Museum at Cosford. It's free to go in. Suggested donations and things like that, but that's an absolutely fantastic museum. They've got all sorts in there. That's
could be a future show.
Well, yeah.
Cosford, yeah, it's a really
all museums, really. I mean, it'd be quite good to get them out there, and that there's quite a few that could do with a mention. I've spoken to a couple of people from museums as well that they run them, and I can't get my fingers crossed like that with the one in Cornwall. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But Ian, we'll go over to you. There are a couple of comments coming in.
Yeah, I was looking at the one what Marco Barrett had sent there. Unfortunately, the Air and Space Hall at the Museum of Science and Industry has permanently closed, which is absolutely devastating now because I used to love going there. That's a massive, massive shame.
I'm sure I went there when I was at school. Is this in London?
No, it's in Manchester.
Right,
City
I'm
Centre.
thinking of the one in London then. But,
it was like it's a Museum of Science and Industry. On one side of the road you had like the suppose the aviation space side of it, and on the other side of the road it's all like industrial heritage with cotton mills and steam trains and things like that. So I'm presuming that side's still open. Well, that's a massive shame. I mean, the building did look a bit run down, to be fair, but it was a proper nice place to go. I'm really, really sad about that, to be honest. Jack Rolls is saying hello to Isaac. Can't see Isaac. Newark Air Museum is good. Aviation 19. I've never been to Newark. Any of you to experience that one?
Not one I know of, to be honest. No.
No, I haven't been there.
No. Seeing the Concorde and being inside there is even. Sorry. It's just the way that's worded.
Ian, no, come on now.
You're better than this, Ian.
No, we've lasted so long. He's gone. This is what happens.
Seeing the Concorde and being inside her, even in a museum, is just incredible, says Jack Rolls.
Oh, you set him off now. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and Duxford is my all-time favourite museum. Old and new aircraft. It takes about a day to see it all, so it's a good day out if it takes you a day to get round a museum. So and that's
fun fact.
Yeah.
Actually going there next month, I believe.
Yeah, you're going to Stansted, aren't you?
Duxford's only half hour away from it.
Oh, happy days. That'll be nice.
Going to do the two together.
I know you were saying that you had a family station there. Hendon, I really enjoyed. I know it's all military, but that was brilliant. The trip over to Hendon.
Hendon's wonderful. Hendon is a wonderful, underrated museum for anybody that hasn't been to Hendon and sort of lives in and around the London area.
Yeah, I remember going there on a school trip years and years ago, but I don't remember anything about it. My brother was stationed there when he was in RAF a long time ago at Hendon.
Well, it's not open season to do what you want, but you only have to pay as much or as little as you fancy as well. There, which it's almost unheard of. But I went there with my brother, and it was brilliant seeing like the Sunderland, and you sort of go through the generations from First World War all the way up to like the modern fighter jets. Absolutely amazing, yeah. Yeah,
I love museums like that. Really, really good. Absolutely. I watched a video funny last night about we a Sunderland on it. Yeah, which would be quite interesting. I can't believe they only have the B-17 and the Catalina still flying there. Is that at Duxford?
Duxford.
Okay, right. Yeah, the industrial part is still open, but the even parts of that have closed for good. That's a massive shame. That about the that museum in Manchester. It was massive. That it was. It was a real big thing. Yeah, I'm absolutely devastated about that.
What I will say, just very quickly, whilst we're sort of on the topic here, Isaac's having connection problems. So I think that it's probably him done for the evening. So if it is, we just want to say big thank you to you for coming on. It's been wonderful. We should fill time. It's not a problem. But yeah, we've certainly learned sort of a lot tonight with sort of the kind of chap he is and sort of his experiences with aviation. So yeah, so big thank you once again.
Thanks, Isaac.
To you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So do keep getting your comments in. And obviously, like I said, ask us anything. It doesn't have to be aviation. There you go. It can be anything. Doesn't have to be aviation related. Just ask us anything. We don't care. Just ask us anything if you so wish.
Aviation 19 is asking if anybody's got the Jet 2757 model.
I've got two in what they call Premier Planes, which is like the snap together ones. One in the grey Jet 2 livery and one in Steve's favourite Holiday Packages livery. I think I've put them away at the moment. I've got a Jet 2 737 in 1/100 scale, but yeah, other than that, none other than that.
Plane Spotter 555, that name rings a bell. What do you think about Bristol Airport?
That's Isaac.
Yeah, I know it is. Yeah, I've got nothing to say. Isaac. Bye.
Bye. I'll tell you, we'll go from an outsider's perspective first. So we'll go for you two. So we'll go Steve first because Steve's never been.
From the outside, for me, it doesn't have the variation of Bournemouth, which is my local airport, which I'll do as a barometer. I know they have more movements in Bournemouth and a lot more sort of flights to different places, but it just seems to be EasyJet, Ryanair, a couple of others at the moment. But whereas Bournemouth, which I'm obviously going to favour, has got the 340s, EasyJet, Ryanair, TUI, and a host of military stuff and other cargo stuff. So whilst it'd be good to go up there spotting, it might be a case of I've seen one EasyJet, I've seen them all kind of thing, but I could be wrong when I hear your opinions on it.
Yeah. Ian.
Pretty much same as Steve, really. I wouldn't drive past Manchester to go to Bristol unless I were down that way. I wouldn't make a special trip. I mean, I live in northwest of England, so it's a bit of a
way
trek
to go
down,
anyway, isn't it?
and I'm passing a lot of decent airports to get to it, and for the kind of traffic what is in there. I mean, it's a nice spot. I've seen some of your footage, Tom, and it's its landscape's really nice, and it's got a nice runway, and you get good views and everything. So I think if I were down that way, say up taking a break or something, then I'd definitely have a look at it. But I certainly wouldn't make a special trip down there. Definitely not now.
I like the airport because it's my local busiest one. It's a long way from where I live now to go to Heathrow. It's about 3.5 hours or so to get to Heathrow. Gatwick a little bit longer. Bournemouth a lot longer. Newquay's not really that busy, although you make special trips if certain things come in. But Bristol is such a scenic airport. Really is such a scenic airport. On a very clear day, you can see Wales, and it provides some of the most amazing backdrops, I think, in the UK for like pictures and things like that. I do have pictures on my Instagram. Check it out. It's because it's so high up, it can be really cold as well. So when it's like chilly sort of now, when you go up there, it's like absolutely freezing and you wish you took a coat or something. But it's underrated for starters. You do get obviously the Dreamliner in there as well, which is the biggest plane that I think that goes in there. Obviously had the two E757s, but they're now gone, so they're getting replaced by the Maxes. And now we've started to get airlines such as Lufthansa flying in there. Lauda, I think, went in there as well. We got Wizz Air that come in the evening, so you don't really see those unless it's like a summer's evening. There is variety. EasyJet sending A321neos over as well. There's a bit of variety. It is picking up a little bit. Obviously, Jet2 is obviously starting over there as well, with their Sun package liveries. It's all good.
I think it's exposed as well, and it's really exposed to elements. And you do tend to get, I think, because it's right on Bristol Channel as well. I think you seem to have a problem with fog down there on it as well, don't you? That seems to be quite an issue.
When the fog rolls in, it's an airport that is you either try it twice and then that's it. You're not going off elsewhere.
I think it's just because it's a nuisance to get to from here as well.
Yeah, fog does hinder it a lot. From where I live, it's 2 hours, so it is rather sort of close. So it's not too bad really.
Let me just have a look at some of these comments here. What do you think about Bristol Airport? If you had to pick a favourite warbird, what would you pick and why?
As you're so clued up on warbirds, Steve, not Steve, Ian, what would you pick?
It's a tornado for me every time. Has to be. I just can't get enough of them, and once he stopped flying them, it was it's like you, Tom. I think with 757s, it's something you're never going to see again unless you get we're quite lucky up here that the Saudis still have them, and the Saudis have just took theirs back now, but we had them up to 18 months ago. We had tornadoes flying around up here, but that's what it would be for me definitely. And I do like an F-16 as well, I have to say. I've never been hugely a massive fan as much as the role they've played in the history of the country. With Spitfires and your Hurricanes.
Don't say it.
No, I'm not saying I don't like them, but I've never been a massive propeller plane fan. Compared to a good loud jet, and that's the way it is. I watched a YouTube video last night, and it was the Waddington Airshow 1998, and that was absolutely fantastic. And some of the stuff what they had Harriers in, Jaguars, what do they call them? Starfighters. They had a couple of them in. Some post Second World War, Cold War fast jets, and I love them. I really, really love a fast jet.
Steve?
Well, I'd have to go for the Battle of Britain stuff, Lancaster, Spitfire, Hurricane. You'd have to be a northerner not to appreciate those. The noise of a Spitfire,
and I do like them. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just not a huge fan of them. As an aviation enthusiast, I'm just not a massive fan of that specific type of plane, a propeller plane.
The noise of a Spitfire should come with an over 18s warning. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like we have, shows or whatever.
At Blackpool Airport, we have, I think they call it Hangar 42, and that's a Spitfire Heritage Centre. And only a couple of weeks ago, they flew the last Polish Spitfire from Blackpool Airport across to Woodvale, which is just over the other side of Southport, because the Second World War Polish Spitfire squadron were based up at Woodvale. So they actually flew the last one from Blackpool to Woodvale as a commemorative sort of flight for it. And we do have quite a bit of Spitfire action, to be quite honest. You don't really see them that much. We've got a Spitfire perched at Fairhaven Lake on a pedestal there. And even on Blackpool Illuminations, when you get sort of halfway through it, there's a huge roundabout, and they've got one perched in the middle of that as well to sort of advertise the Heritage Centre there. So, yeah, we have quite a bit of issue with Spitfires up here.
Just before I go ahead with mine, guess who's back?
Hey!
He's back after his issues. We're back. We're back with connection. We're back with everything else. Got it all sorted now, Isaac?
Yeah, I have like 3 different laptops around me right now.
That's a shame because we just wrapped up the show. So thanks for coming back on anyway.
Cheers, everyone. See ya.
Yeah. Bye.
I'm watching it on my iPad, so
Brilliant. Yeah, I'll quickly go through mine, sort of thing. I'm a huge Vulcan fan.
Yeah, absolutely,
definitely.
I got T-shirts of Vulcans and that. I'd love a Spitfire. I don't think there's any better sound ever that can ever be created out of a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. And I did see a comment actually when I was scrolling through from Jack Rolls, who says that he fell in love with the French Super Étendard, which they are fantastic. And speaking of the French Air Force sort of thing, I would have to say the Rafale is fantastic. It's like a French Typhoon, but it's honest to God, it's such a wonderful fast jet. It's mind-boggling what it can do. And seeing Isaac's back, have you got any favourite warbirds?
Wow. I mean, the Ultimate Warbirds display team, I really like all of their aircraft. Mostly because obviously I was up close and personal with them with the Bournemouth Air Show. But I mean, every warbird, if it sounds nice, you're gonna like it, aren't you?
I think that pretty much that explains the whole thing. Warbirds they're wonderful, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always a highlight of the air shows, definitely.
Just trying to remind myself. All right. This was on the comment to do with Jet 2 models. Marco Barrett saying that the same. He's got the same. I know he's got the same because he showed me. So I know that. But yeah, Ian, over to you with some more comments. They're all flying in at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Have any of you guys had any experience with flying at radio-controlled model aircraft? I can't say I have.
Steve?
No, I can't say I have, but the kind of sadistic side of me loves a YouTube video when those really expensive ones fail on takeoff and then explode, and you just got some poor bloke holding the controls crying as his life's work's gone up in flames.
Oh God! You know what? I'm in the same boat. I'm totally in the same boat. I saw one the other day actually, and it gave me so much satisfaction. Not in that way, but it was so funny to see. It was so funny. I'm very tempted to put one on, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, they are funny, aren't they? They tend to be a lot of German ones, don't you think, when you look on YouTube?
And they're the ones that crash, so it's even better.
Yeah.
There was one I saw. It was some kind of military plane, and it went down. It hit the ground and crashed. And then, as it caught fire, like this little hatch on the top of it blew off, and it just properly got me.
It's such a shame, and when you think of the work they put into them, it's heartbreaking a bit.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you, I don't think we're the only ones on the planet that have a sort of a satisfaction that you can YouTube these sort of things, and it's funny to watch people's life work go up in flames.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's grim. Really. I think a lot of it is how they put it together, is how they put the video together as well, and it's not just the actual thing. They're really, really comical, aren't they? Some of them. I find it.
Some of them are really funny.
Yeah.
Some of them are super funny.
I know what I'm watching later after I watch Bake Off. I once flew one of the. I think you used to pick them up for like a tenner from B&M. You know those little helicopters? I used to have one of them to moid at cat with, but they don't really count, do they?
This is the one I watched the other day. So okay, this is pretty cool. Like, it's pretty cool to see it, and then like just watch it because it is great. It's a nice color as well, and then oh, look at the disappointment! Oh man. We're so evil. We are so evil.
Yeah, so
we'll probably get a couple of dislikes for that as well. But you know what? Each to their own. Totally each to their own. But yeah, I've tried a few times to fly a plane, but my fear is doing exactly that, which is putting a bit of work into getting it all sort of pristine and that, and then taking it off, and then all of a sudden it's just going up in smoke.
Yeah.
It's not for me. So yes. Right, yeah. Oh God, look, we've got loads of comments coming in, so we'll try and fly through these.
Ryan Bomber. Oh, Ryan Bomber's hello all. The Vulcan bomber was epic. One aircraft I fell in love with is the French Super. Oh, you've read that one out already, Tom, haven't you? From Jack Rolls. Aviation 19 saying that Jet2 have now ordered 51 in total of the A321 Neo. So that's
mention that at the top of the show.
Yeah, definitely. In 2019, Yorvelton did a fly past of Concorde, Marine, Raphael, Falcon, Zephyr, and the Elise. That was a moment I won't forget. Yeah, I think was you there for that, Tom?
I've got pictures. I was there, and I've got pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was absolutely, because that's the only other time I think it was the last time that the Étendard was flying before retirement, I think, or maybe that was just slightly before. But I've definitely got pictures of the Zephyr and everything else. So yeah, amazing, absolutely amazing. It was to see. Really, really cool.
Michael Barrett. I have a few decent size RC models, including a 3-meter wingspan sport glider. Are there them things what they spin round? Have you seen them things what they spin round? Or is it what somebody throws it like a boomerang and it goes up and they just sort of weave in and out each other and things like that? Have you seen that?
I'm not clued up on it, so I don't.
Oh, right.
Can you do the impression again while Tom plays Cotton Eye Joe on top of it, please?
For copyright reasons, I will hum it.
Right, children. Right. As a passenger, would you rather fly first on the Boeing 747-800 or an A380.
First class on a 380 or a 747-8.
I think I'd go for 380 personally.
Isaac?
I'd have to go for the 748 only because you need that seat 1A.
Seat 1A. Everyone knows seat 1A.
Yeah.
Steve?
This is a tough one. Like, if you can get that proper, like, full-on hotel suite on the A380 with the lounge, the bedroom, and the shower, that would win hands down. But equally, to say you've flown first class on a 747 would probably win the day for nostalgia reasons.
I mean, it's close, but I would go for probably the 380 because it is a dying breed at the moment, and you kind of want to get on one before it sort of disappears. So that's what I would go for.
Yeah.
I think if you want the comfort, you're going to get the 380, aren't you? You're not going to get more comfortable than the 380.
I think just purely because the 747-8 is going to be around for a bit longer than the 380.
Yeah, definitely. Jack Roll says he'd fly the 747-800. Marco Barrett, Google FMS Fox 3000 That's the one he's got. I hope there's some videos of you on there, Marco, flying it. Tom's looking worried.
There's probably another Daddy Longlegs come into his room that he was going to start screaming again.
Yeah.
Not me. No.
So yourself, Isaac, and Jack did a tour of the British Airways 747-400 Landau Retro at Dunsfold Aerodrome. What was that like?
Yeah. It was really cool. The COVID had an impact on it, but you got to walk around underneath it in the landing gear, inside, first class, the crew rest area. You got a sense of, like, when you're boarding a plane and you're going on holiday or something, you sit down in your seat. But seeing all behind the scenes was actually really cool.
Yeah, I can imagine. And what did you think of the crew rest area? Because they didn't really do much for them, did they, back then when the 747-400s were, created? It was just a bit of a space where you managed to slot yourself in and get your head down for an hour, weren't it?
Yeah, I had to crawl through the whole of the crew rest area.
Yeah, you think I think they'd be a bit more modernised now, wouldn't they? And I think they'd have better facilities, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, I think Tom's found something else.
It's a comment from Aviation 19. I couldn't resist. And I have seen this one. It is funny as well. Oh, I'm gonna have to watch compilations. There's so many compilations on like YouTube.
Can we just have a special 1 week of just us watching the plane?
There he goes.
And there goes the hard work of somebody that's never mind.
Poor guy. Got the effort they put into making them. They take it deadly seriously as well, don't they?
They do.
I'm sure Marco vouched for that being a one himself. Yep, Aviation 19 saying that if it was a 747-400 rather than 800 versus the 380, then defo the 747-400. It's like I think
100%.
that's a good shout. That, to be fair, isn't it?
100%. That's what I would take all day long.
Definitely.
There we go. We are all caught up. If we've missed your comments, I'm just going to go through now and just see if we've missed any. We did miss one, actually. There you go.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that one myself now.
Who is that Wally coming in asking that sort of question?
So Martin Waldridge says, if you could fly any plane through Tower Bridge, what would it be?
I'll tell you what, there's a challenge for us, isn't there, on Friday? We can either try and fly a plane through Tower Bridge, or the other thing I was going to suggest is, I know you've done this, Tom, is fly one of those sketchy fighter jets through that tunnel on GTA 5.
I have done that, actually.
You have
done that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just to humour him, I'll say a Eurofighter inverted would be my choice on that.
Oh, any plane through hot air balloon? No, I would probably fly a. You want to go big, wouldn't you? I'd probably fly like a Sunderland, like a flying boat.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that'd be
that would be interesting.
Yeah.
What you going for, Isaac?
What would you fly through the Tower Bridge?
2E787.
2E787. And Ian.
I mean, it's much stupid. Like, I mean, I'm not going to say a B-52 because that's just ridiculous, isn't it?
And the idea of flying through Tower Bridge isn't at all ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good shout as well. Yeah, I would say something like a low-level flight down right through Thames in a Vulcan and trying to get that through with howling its nabs off. Forgive me, French.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Very good shout.
Marco's got to go, so he's got to go, guys. Great show as always. So, cheers, Marco. See you again.
I like this one.
You guys happen to see the video put off an TWS CVA?
Read it out. Comments, reader.
All right, I'll bring it to myself then. have you guys happened to see the video I put up of an TWA CV880 departure? The smoke and the noise are insane. I haven't actually, no.
This I think is the one where it leaves the desert. I think it leaves Victorville, I think. And it is astonishing how, like, considering the 880 was a very quick aircraft, the noise is, if you haven't seen it, I recommend Googling it and trying to find it, because it is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. But yeah, the Mojave Desert. There you go. It's the Mojave Desert. That's where it leaves, and it's astonishingly good. Astonishingly good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it myself. I'll definitely look that up.
Absolutely. We'll go with Bradley Penny Aviation, who says hello. So hello. Somebody you're familiar with, Ian, says cracking show.
Cracking show. Oh yeah.
Cracking show.
Cheers, Grey Blue.
So wonderful. Also, another one from Jack Rolls saying another Ryanair that I saw and fell in love with was Echo India Delta Charlie Lima, the Dreamliner livery that came into Bournemouth in July. We've seen this one, Ian, haven't we? We've seen this at Manchester.
Yeah, I was trying to dig photos out and I haven't got any photographs of it for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm fairly certain at the time you were getting bruised.
All right, that's probably why then.
And I ran out and got it because I wasn't missing that one. No way.
I tell you what, I think you were right. Yeah, we were in cafe, weren't we? When you ran out and got it. That's right. Yeah.
Because I think then it was my turn to get them, and I missed the Icelandair 757, but you got it. And I think it was I'm sure it was the Aurora one, wasn't it, or something? No, it wasn't. It was a standard one. It was a standard one, and I missed it. You got it because I was getting teased. God darn. So there you go. A shout out to you, Ian from Bradley Penny Aviation, saying big up, Ian.
Yep. Cheers, Brad.
Ryan Bomar confirming that obviously his video was at the Mojave Desert. And Trevolino Blog says hello. So hello to everybody watching this evening. Now we're all caught up.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Definitely.
Oh, no, we're not.
No, we're not
Yeah.
yet. Ian, read this one.
How are you all, Travelino blog? I think we're
Doing
all
well.
doing well, aren't we? I think we're doing really well, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderfully well.
Yeah.
Wonderfully well. So, let's go over to the poll that we have put into the chat. And looks like people want to see the new design. The poll is now going to end. So, which way is it? It's that way.
That way, yeah.
It's like, where's Wally? Woody's there, isn't he? So,
Just there, Bradley. Obviously. Oh.
Oh, worry, Steve.
oh, we asked, where are you? Right.
Yeah.
Ah.
Still there. It says, are you in your garage?
In an aircraft hangar of sorts, yes.
An aircraft hangar of sorts. Oh, you guys, we have to go at some point, but here we go. Go on then.
Yep. Loud Emotion last year did a few flights for Ryanair and managed to get a few shots, but that was the first time I saw one an A319, and that's Jack Rolls.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was coming in from Mallorca on Sunday mornings, that particular flight, I seem to remember. And
Did you get it stay? Have you seen it?
yeah, no, I did manage to get down and see it. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It came in maybe 2 or 3 weekends and then disappeared again, but it was a decent shot, that one. And I did see earlier on, Jack was mentioning that he missed the max. I'm pretty sure, and I will correct me if I'm wrong, but it's coming in again Saturday at lunchtime. So if you're around for that, Jack, you'll be able to see it coming into Bournemouth on Saturday lunchtime.
Are you going to see it?
Is it the same one? Is it the Buzzer one?
Should be, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to check the weather forecast because I'm not getting hypothermia for it again this week when I've already sort of got it.
We've already had one person go out in
Yeah.
the cold and wet to grab the Emirates A380 today.
And
Certainly
moaned all
did.
morning about it.
Yeah. You can't really put a picture on, Tom, can you? But I'll
No, I'll tell you what. I can.
oh, can you?
I can. If you just talk amongst yourselves whilst I bring the picture up.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it while I were up there today, considering I was only there for about 2.5 hours, something like that. And I caught plenty of stuff, and the weather was horrific. It was absolutely howling. We had an Airbus 320, EasyJet A320. They go around, which were quite cool. But when they were taking off, when the wind were hitting them, they were just going up.
Yeah.
They were absolutely fantastic to see. It was really, really good to see. And even when they were coming into land, you could still see them having a bit of a wobble on. And obviously the 777 what came in, the spray off that was unbelievable.
Were they crabbing? Were they crabbing coming in?
They were crabbing going out. I could see him crabbing going out. Yeah. Even the 380 when that went out, he sort of took off straight, and you could see him crabbing. And he sort of went up to and he sort of do a right hand turn and fly back round on themselves. So he sort of crabbed up a little bit and then turned round on himself, and he was disappearing into clouds at that point. So it was fantastic.
In your best northern tones that you do, Ian.
Yep. Hey, up,
When you're ready.
up the new cams.
But I couldn't have gone any more wrong if it tried.
Yeah, beautiful.
Up the new cams.
Oh dear. Right, here is the picture that Ian took.
Hey, there it is.
His wonderful, wonderful photography skills.
Yeah, we're fantastic. I mean, the light wasn't brilliant or anything like that, and I think you see a picture of it, and it still doesn't do it justice. But when you're actually looking at it, and it's an absolutely fantastic beast. It really, really is. It looks really, really nice. Well impressed with it.
Did you prefer it better in person then?
I beg your pardon, Steve.
You preferred it better in person, seeing it today?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Seeing it in person, yeah. And it's always nice to see it on stand and to watch all the other planes taxi past it. I have got one of sort of a Ryanair 737 just going over the top of it and things like that. And it's sort of you sort of photographs of the Ryanair 737, but then that's just sat there in background, just minding its own business. But obviously, it's so eye catching, you can't really miss it. It's
huge.
Yeah.
I got there in the end. I was trying to find this one.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Fantastic. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. It's coming back in again tomorrow, apparently. So I've heard.
So anybody that hasn't seen it today, keep an eye on Flight Radar. You might go get it tomorrow.
I'm going again tomorrow. You're joking. Bloody freezing out there.
I'll have to pull a sickie off, perhaps.
Yeah, well, I can't. It's getting all at diesel to go there.
So Travelino blog says, "Have you ever been to Stansted? Anybody been to Stansted?"
Not for spotting purposes, but I've flown to Turin from Stansted. It's a decent airport. It's comfortable, and you get the excitement of going on a nice little train. But the only thing I'd say, when we landed back in, like 3 or 4 Ryanairs must have arrived at the same time, because it was absolute bedlam trying to get back into the country at Stansted.
What was the saying that we said earlier? Ryanair without the care.
Yeah, exactly.
What was this? Was that just like immigration and stuff like that, Steve, coming through? Just
the sheer amount of people and what have you. Yeah. But
anyone else been to Stansted, or anyone know? No one else been to Stansted?
No, not at all. No.
Going next month, if that helps. I've been into the terminal, but purely by accident. Say again.
Sorry, Isaac.
I diverted to Stansted.
Oh, right. From where was you going? From Bristol or something?
Alicante to Bournemouth. There was a fight at Bournemouth Airport, so we had to go instead.
Okay, right. And what happened when you got there? Did you just get a coach back down to Bournemouth?
No, Ryanair made us make our own way home.
God darn!
But little did we know, arrived on Bournemouth.
God darn evil.
That's what you get playing Ryanair, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I have a funny story. I stumbled upon Stansted by pure accident. I missed my coach from Norwich, and ended up getting a taxi to Stansted, and then getting picked up from Stansted. And I had like an hour and a half to spare, so I ended up sort of walking through the terminal. Everyone was like, "Oh, you flying out?" No, I came from Norwich, so. Oh, exotic, they said. I said, oh, not really.
What on earth were you doing in Norwich?
Long story.
All right.
One not to be mentioned on here.
Definitely.
But yes, so we've shown this one already. This is about your photos there, Ian. Jack Rolls says, what lens do you guys use? Why don't you tell everybody? I mean, we'll go with, I know you guys do your cameras, I don't, I video stuff. So, Steve, lens-wise, what do you use?
So the body of my camera is a Canon M50 Mark II, and the majority of the photos you'll see on my Instagram page is a 18-135 image stabilized lens, Canon, obviously. So that's what I generally use. I do have other lenses, but for what I need, that lens does the absolute job every time, to be honest.
Isaac, what about you, lens-wise?
Well, I said in the comment, I use 100D 75 to 300 millimeter.
Wonderful. And Ian, yours not so much lens, it's more camera, isn't it?
Yeah, I just use. I've just got. I think it's a Canon PowerShot 930 or something. It's just a point and shoot thing, but does its job.
Well, they look good today.
Yeah, we're quite impressed with them. I mean, I am in market and I am looking for another camera at the moment, but it's absolutely fine for what I do, for what I use it for. Yeah,
wonderful. Jones Aviation in your best northern.
It flew over my house on departure and it looked epic.
I got smoke at the voice too.
I nearly spilled my bloody tea, I did.
You buy one, you get one free.
Travelino blog. He flew out with Ryanair out to Stansted. He also flew to Turin. He don't like Stansted.
It's just a long way. You've got to drive past Heathrow all the way around top end of London up the M11. It's just not that local to anything, and obviously not local to Norwich either. It probably cost you an absolute fortune getting there.
I didn't actually know the coach company paid for the taxis, but I failed to notice that the coach had broken down somewhere else on the way, and then an announcement went out that the service was cancelled, and I wondered why everybody was getting taxis, but I didn't know because I had my earphones in, so I didn't hear it. So then I looked at the watch and stuff. I was like, it's either running late or ain't turning up. So I messaged somebody. She went, did you not hear the announcement or anything? I was like, what announcement? So, oh, well, that's a no then. I said, what bloody announcement was it? Oh, the service has been cancelled because it's broken down. I can't remember where it was. I was like, right, so what am I going to do to get home to London? We can put on a taxi for you. I was like, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be great. Because I'm not walking. She was like, oh, you're funny. I was like, do your job. do what you paid for. But no, that's fine. Now we're caught up, right?
Yep.
So all good. So a lot of people want to see the new design. T-shirts, which will be coming onto the store soon. It's all good to go, but it'll be coming on soon. A lot of people would have seen this on Sunday night when a wonderful model down below, who's not with us today, so Ian's here.
I'm a stunt double.
Yeah, stunt double. Modelled it, and if you didn't see it, we've played around with sort of designs and things like that to get it perfect, and now it's perfect and ready to reveal to you all. So I'm not asking for drum roll because it's a bit silly, but here it comes anyway. So we're doing something for Pride. I know obviously Pride Month was a couple months ago, but this is kind of our way for showing support for obviously the LGBT, I think it's Q and plus now, I think it is, community. And this shirt will be available very, very soon. We've designed it. We've made sure that every color sort of suits, and it does. It'll be available in a multitude of colors, as you can see on the left hand side. None of them will be deactivated. They will literally just all be they'll all be available for whichever color you wish. So that will be coming very, very soon. I want to get thoughts and opinions, because obviously I know we've already seen it, but just on the cusp, I absolutely love this. Obviously, Ian, you wore the top yesterday, and you're a big fan.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a really, really nice shirt. Even taking away the LGBT side of it, it's just a nice looking T-shirt. It really, really is. Especially, I do like it on the black background, because it really, really, really stands out on that black background. And
I can do that for you. Yeah. There you go.
There you go. Obviously, I've got the long sleeve one as well, haven't I? But I think it's just a nice design. I really do. It's just something bright, isn't it?
Yes. It will be available in a multitude of things. So it can be long sleeve shirts, as obviously Ian wore yesterday. It will come as T-shirts, men and women, of course. And it will come as a hoodie, and on, like I say, mugs and everything else like that. So do keep an eye out for this. We will probably release this within the next week or two. So keep an eye on that. And whilst we're talking about sort of merch and that, I will just mention again that there are only 6 days left of our 15% off offer. And if you haven't bought a T-shirt yet, or anything else like a sticker, cup, etc., you have 6 days to get some discount off of it. It's not expensive at all. We're not overcharging anybody like I know some sort of channels and that do. we're not overcharging you. We are literally selling it for basically pretty much nothing in terms of, we don't make anything off it. So, it's a give back to everybody for the support of the channel. But let us know what you think. We've already got Jack Roll saying that he loves the look of the shirt. I absolutely love it. I love it in the white. The white is perfect. For those that are listening on Spotify and wondering, what are we talking about? It is sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 planes sort of in formation with sort of the rainbow colours behind them, with a rainbow logo to obviously show our support for the LGBT community. Steve, your thoughts on this, just very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. A big fan of it. And now I've seen it on sort of here, and it looks even better than I first imagined. I'd probably go for a darker colour one myself, purely because I don't know where my mouth is when I'm eating. So if I have a white one, we've got absolutely no chance of that staying white for very long. So the black one would be absolutely spot on for me. So I'd probably be making a purchase before long.
Absolutely. And as an outsider, sort of from not sort of knowing about this whole thing, Isaac, thoughts?
The idea that the jets are trailing the colours behind them, I think that's cool.
Wonderful stuff. So keep an eye on our social medias for the sort of the release date for this. This will probably we'll put it on the market for a limited amount of time before we sort of take it off again. And sort of, we'll be releasing it every now and again with different designs. We've got a few designs, but we're releasing this one. This will probably be around for maybe a couple weeks. So if you want this shirt, you've got a couple of weeks to buy it as soon as it comes out. So, like I say, we will let you know. Anyway, that's enough of that. We've been going for nearly an hour and 3/4, so we're going to start to wrap things up. So we want to thank you, Isaac, for taking the time again to come on and actually get the show done this time. So at least we've managed to at least do that. So yeah, big thank you to you.
Yeah, thank you guys too.
Yeah, no, it's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. So this is the portion of I keep saying portion. It's not a portion. Segment. Segment of the show now where we start to give out some wonderful shout outs. Steve, you look like you're ready for this.
Well, always ready, but
always ready for a good shout out. And,
and that highlight of the show.
Absolutely. If anybody has any shout outs, this is sort of what we're doing now. If anyone's got any shout outs, pop them in the chat. We'll put them on the screen as we do our shout outs as well. Just if you want to say hello to anybody at all, we'll get them onto the screen. So we'll start with you, Isaac. We're going to put you on the spot because that's what we like to do here. And we're going to allow you to do some shout outs first. So you can shout out as many people as you like. Away you go.
Okay, first of all, thank you guys for putting up with all the internet connection issues and issues that we had before. Thank you, Steve, for bearing with me at the airport. Thank you to all the BOH spotters who cap like rare events. For example, that map, I got a lot of comments and messages saying it's for me to see. So that's quite cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolute pleasure.
Okay, Steve, seeing as you were ready for this, off you go.
Hey, well, first up, thank you to Isaac for coming on and sort of for the good times we have down the airport and that. A special shout out to your mum because it's a real bummer that your internet's gone down and that, and she's lent you the laptop. So big respect to her for sorting you out. And finally, Tom and Ian again for a great show. Tom's chuckling. I don't know why, and it's set me off.
You just setting me off. I don't know.
Yeah,
I know what's coming. So I know what's coming.
Just amazing. Thank you very much, everyone.
Right, over to one of the rejected flower men. Not Bill, not Ben. It's Ian. Over to you.
Yeah, just thank you. Thank you, your good self, Isaac. We got there at end with you, and a few technical issues over the last couple of episodes, but we managed it. So that's fantastic. Thanks to Tom and Steve again for letting me be part of this amazing show. I didn't mean to say it with a snigger, but I meant that seriously. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody who's been tuning in as well tonight with all them fantastic comments, and they certainly kept us busy and kept us on our toes. And we've had a good chat about quite a lot of things. To be quite honest, we got through a lot tonight, and just thanks to everybody who's tuned in, and hope to see you again with next one.
Absolutely. I will do some shout outs now. First of all, we've already said it, but Isaac for being a great guest and sort of contributing with the bants. Just have a little word for myself because I can't believe I said that. So very quickly, you can obviously follow Isaac on Instagram. No, stop it. Put the mask down. It's not Halloween yet. Put it down. You can follow Isaac on Instagram at plain_spotter 555 if you want to check out his photos on there. Big shout out to Ian and Steve.
Follow me on Instagram.
Big kids I know. But wonderful for another wonderful show.
Yeah, really enjoyable tonight. I enjoyed that a lot. So thank you everyone who's been in the comments
definitely.
and taken part and what have you.
Wonderful. And then a couple of people as well. I want to give a quick shout out to my best friend Sophie, who is currently going through a bit of a bad patch. She doesn't watch, but she's going through a bit of a bad patch at the moment. So I kind of hope that she sort of pulls through that. Shout out to Jenny French, who I know is watching. Big thank you to you and your support through the show from episode 1 all the way to 29. It's a big 3-0 next week.
Oh, wow.
Can't believe it. It's going to be a lot of fun next week. But a big shout out to yourself there. And also to all the NHS frontline workers. I say NHS, but like key workers and doctors and everything else around the world for their continued effort through this sort of I'll say rough patch. It's getting better, but it's still a rough patch. So throughout this time as well. Next week, I say next week. It's not this Sunday. If you missed it, Sunday just before this coming Sunday, we are looking at the rise and fall. Can't get my words out. Of Alitalia. They go under in the next 9 days, unfortunately, and they're replaced with another airline. But we're going to look at the history and exactly why this is the case. So I think we're all looking forward to that, aren't we?
Yeah, I know it'd be a lot to learn again, won't there? A bit of research and what have you, and we'll find out things that we never knew without sort of delving into it a bit deeper, which obviously we'll pass on to everyone watching.
Yeah, absolutely. And then one final comment there for Ricky Grimshaw, who says, "Cheers for tonight, guys. It's been good to do this on a Tuesday." Like I say, the show on Sunday is going to be 30 episodes old, which I can't believe. It's frightening, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to try a couple new things as well on Sunday, just to see how that goes. But in order for that to happen, we've got to be able to do it. But we're not going to tell you what it is. We're going to leave it for Sunday. That's it. That's it for this. Well, I always say this week, but it's not this week. For tonight. So all that's left to do now is to say our goodbyes. So Isaac, do you want to say goodbye to everybody still watching?
Thanks for joining and putting up with my speaking. And I'll see you later.
Cheerio, mate.
Steve, do you want to say goodbye to everyone still watching?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we say it every week, but we really do appreciate everyone who joins us, and it takes the time to comment and sort of support the show. So enjoy the rest of your week, and we look forward to seeing you again on Sunday.
Wonderful. Do leave a like on the stream if you have enjoyed this. I haven't said that at all this evening until just now. If you do enjoy it and have enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up. It'd be massively appreciated. Ian, over to you.
Just same as what Steve was saying. Thanks for your support over the last 28 episodes and tonight's episode, and hopefully see you all again Sunday. Thanks for watching.
Wonderful. And for myself, to echo everybody from us here at the Departure Lounge podcast, a big thank you to everybody that supported the show over the last, what will now be 29 episodes. The fact that we've even got to episode 29 is a testament to sort of how much hard work, not just me, Steve, I'll get used to it eventually, Steve and Ian put into this show each and every week. So that's why I appreciate these guys more than anything. Have a fantastic... Stop it. Bloody children, honestly. It's like working with amateurs. Or animals, one of the two. But no, have a fantastic rest of the week. And no doubt Sunday will be here sooner than you think. So take care, everybody. Stay safe. And we will see you on Sunday.
Bye.
See you, everybody.
Bye.